The Queens of Spice podcast is created for adult audiences only. Our show contains cursing, vulgar content, dark humor, descriptions of sexual acts and desires, and is not suitable for listeners under the age of 18. Some episodes also contain themes which may be triggering for listeners. Please take care of yourself. Welcome to a very special episode of the Queens of Spice podcast. I'm your host, Rachel, also known as Ragachu. I'm a Pokemon master. I'm here with my two BFFs, Jack and Ash.
Hi, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
And happy birthday, Jack.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys knew this, but Jack's birthday is on Christmas because she's weird.
And basically like baby Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, it's very funny because every year I'm like, happy birthday, Jesus and Jacqueline.
But really, she just means me.
Really, I just mean, just because I'm plagued with soul-crushing Catholic guilt, just like our protagonist this week, doesn't mean that I still I go to Christmas church or anything.
There's that one time I went to Christmas church when I was 3, and then I got in trouble because I started screaming, it's fake, it's all fake, I want to go home.
I love you, Ashton.
I know, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah. I wanted to go home and open my Christmas Eve Christmas present. That's basically what it was.
Yeah, of course, as anyone
Was
does.
it pajamas?
My family we didn't really follow any Christmas traditions.
We just get to pick one.
So this week, our very special Christmas episode of the Queens of Spice podcast, we're talking about A Very Bossy Christmas by Kayley Loring.
Thank you, Kayley.
Yeah, thank you, Kayley, for this absolute treasure and present.
Oh, it's delightful. Beyond, it delivered in ways that I just was not prepared for it to deliver. And I had to laugh because when Rachel originally brought up the idea of doing a Christmas episode, I think we were really active on the group chat, and she just sent us a list. And I believe my response was, did you just literally look up Christmas erotica? And her response was yes.
Yes, of course I did.
Yes, I did.
How else do I do research?
I mean,
I Google it.
You Google it.
So this book came up on the list near the very top and is highly rated on Goodreads. And it was published in October 2020. It's about a fellow named Declan and a gal named Maddie. So
Maddie,
Maddie, short for Magdalena.
Oh, okay.
Again with the Catholic guilt. So Declan digs himself a girlfriend-shaped hole when he promises his Boston Irish mother that he'd bring his new squeeze to Christmas dinner at their house. The only problem is that he has to convince his hot as fuck administrative assistant Maddie to spend their time in Ohio, pretending that they are in a relationship. So right off the bat, we've got fake relationships.
What?
Yeah, we're getting serious in here.
Are we getting serious though?
So Declan is known as Frosty the Boss Man.
Yep.
What? Amazing.
He's as cool as a Christmas pickle, you might say.
Ooh, I do love a good, cool Christmas pickle. But also, can we do our shots?
Oh, yeah. So we have some very festive shots this week. Also, local rep, we are drinking Cold Stream.
Clear.
Out of Churro originally, I think. Is it Churro? Stewiacke. Yeah.
Cold Actually, no, they're in Coldstream. Hence,
Fair.
Coldstream Clear.
Makes sense.
Which is outside of Stewiacke.
Yeah, so I am in Nova Scotia in Canada for those international listeners, for the 2% of our listeners who are located in Europe.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're calling you out. Thanks so much for listening. I really appreciate it.
I feel like I know who you are.
I know. I feel like I do too. I think I know exactly who it is, so I'm not going to call him out, but it's fine. Hi.
Aww.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, I know.
We love you.
We love you. So I'm...
One of you.
So I have Coldstream Eggnog Rum Cream.
What percent is that?
It is 18%.
Rum cream.
With vanilla and specialty spices. Jack has, what is it, candy cane?
Candy cane. Holiday candy cane, actually. And it is 20%.
Ooh, baby.
And smells real good. But it has like 9 different typefaces on the back of the label.
Yeah, it does.
And
It's upsetting.
yeah, we're not too great. We don't love that. Ashton.
I'm drinking salted caramel.
So that's your favorite, right?
Yeah, because the last time we shot it, somebody drank the entire bottle on me while I was in the bathroom.
Somebody who Charlemagne named.
Jack. I'm sorry. Well,
Jack and my partner kind of helped.
I feel like he instigated.
Yeah, he's an instigator.
I feel like Jack did the damage.
The damage was done either way. So let's have a cheers to Coldstream.
I love how I'm innocent. Cheers. Thanks, Coldstream.
Oh shit,
Thanks,
that's good.
Kayley Loring.
I could drink this just out of the bottle.
This is quite literally eggnog and rum. That's exactly what this is. Highly recommend that one.
Yeah, for
How's
those
it?
who like eggnog
Oh my
This-
gosh, yeah.
or smegnog.
This one is like super good. You know how sometimes like the minty flavor, it's just all like super minty in your face mint flavor? This is like vanilla, like candy first.
Does it like kick him in the candy cane?
Is it colder than a dead house balls?
A dead elf's balls. Yeah, it is quite cold.
Well, fuck me running on Santa's sled. So,
Okay.
I should clarify. We're gonna be. We have a little challenge going on. I
I'm
went
supposed to
through
be checking these off. Am
Yeah,
I?
you should definitely check them off. So I went through this book and bless Kayley for including all of these Christmas puns in the book. It is littered with Christmas puns, and I went down and wrote all of the good ones down, and we're just gonna call them out as we see them.
Yeah, kind of like fuck me. I want to put a little Christmas bun in that oven right now.
Except Jacqueline doesn't get to see the list.
No, I only made a list for me and Ashton. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's funny that way.
Try hard. Try harder. Try harder with a vengeance, Jacqueline.
Oh, that was such a good one.
I would love to know what our listeners think about whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Oh man. Okay,
Fair.
tweet us. Oh, hit us up on Instagram. Send me an email. I haven't been emailed in a minute. Give me an email. I miss email.
Rachel needs you to email her.
Yeah,
please.
I need some
Send her a
validation.
little Christmas love, guys. Little,
Oh
little
my
Christmas
gosh,
gift.
send me a Chris. That'd be
Little
really
ringle
cool.
ding 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 dong. Little candy cane love. Put some rockin' in her stocking.
Yeah, like you're roasting your nuts roasting on an open fire.
We're looking at you, Jesse. Thank you for your previous
Bake her
emails.
spirits bright.
Okay, pause. Ashton,
What? Santa Paws?
Santa pause. Good call, Jack.
Bake her spirits bright. That's one.
I know.
How am I pausing? I thought
I'm
you-
pausing on the puns so we can talk about the book.
Oh, I thought I was doing a good job.
You were, but I mean, you gotta
Okay.
pepper him in there a little bit. You gotta give him a little
All
tease.
of our 3 listener ended the podcast because of the puns.
Okay, but here's the thing, guys. When we came across this book and Ashton settled into it and took one for the team, this was one of the things that I was dying in the most delightful, like, euphoric sense, because every chapter title in this book is a play on a different like Christmas carol, like "Oh Holy Shit" instead of "Oh Holy Night," or "I Wish Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer," or "Oh Come All You Faithful." Like,
This book is so amazingly
Witty.
hilarious, and witty.
it's clever in a way that I think a fun Christmas novel should be.
Yeah, if you're gonna, here's the thing. This is an old design school mantra of if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna make fun of something, make fun of it all the way, or don't bother.
Well, and the brilliant thing about it is like the story, like, setup for the book is not like elaborate, over the top. It's pretty, like, I don't want to say it's basic, but it's just
It's
like
simple.
that. It's that old chestnut,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
It's that old chestnut roast no fire.
yeah, they take the idea, or she takes the idea, and then just builds this hilarious existence around it, and it's just, I laughed out loud so many times.
So many times.
And I remember sending messages to the group chat being like, Rachel, oh my God, Rachel, oh my God. And I needed you to read this, and I needed you to love it as much as I loved it, because I fucking loved it.
So to set this up, so Declan is a lawyer at a realty firm in New York, and Maddie is his administrative assistant, and she's an administrative assistant who was offered tons of jobs straight out of school. Like she was very much like on the top of her game.
And he wanted her.
And he wanted her because so she was working for another lawyer before who knew Declan. And when he found out that original lawyer was retiring, he basically called dibs on Maddie. Of like, she's an amazing administrative assistant. She's very good at her job. She keeps everyone on their game. And he, like, from the beginning, which you find out later, has like a massive crush on her.
Oh, Declan.
Yeah, there's a lot of little like nuggets through the book where you can tell he's had a crush on this gal forever,
Which leads into the like class, like the storyline that you're expecting. Like, it doesn't pull any punches, and this is the delightful thing too. Like, there's not a lot of angst. The angst is expected. Like, you can read through it, and it's like, okay, I can see that coming. But what you don't see coming is all of the delight that ends up in like the texting back and forth.
There's whole chapters in this book that are just them texting back and forth.
Yeah, it's just delightful.
And it's so like it sets such a tone for this book, especially where like they're texting as boss and employee, but then they're kind of not.
The line is very
The line gets less and less
opaque.
obvious the further you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's quite nice because it's like, you know, it's fun flirty banter basically, but then it also has like a lot of it's used as a tool to also like deal professionalism at some points too, because they rein it in on occasions of when they're texting about work.
Well, it demonstrates the dynamic of the relationship, and I also love that it's an opportunity to add in like that extra little plot point where Maddie has his niece who she spends time with, and Piper,
Yeah, her name's Piper.
and like this kind of sets off the whole like Maddie's family, which is really important to the story, and how like she just wants to spend time with her family at Christmas, and she's supposed to go take Piper out to go Christmas shopping, and Declan's like, what? Like, you're supposed to work for me? And she's like, no, I asked for this time off for a while now. And Piper just kind of gets involved in a way that's just hilarious.
It's so charming.
Like-
so I put in one of my notes is hashtag Macklin.
yes,
Because Piper like ships them in this.
yeah.
And she wants them to get together so hard. And the second Piper, like, she's like 13, I think, in this book.
Something like that.
As soon as she like sees him for the first time, she's obsessed with his butt because he has like the nicest butt.
One might say she's having a jolly old Saint Nick of a time
Ooh.
trying to get them together.
Nice.
Yep. That wasn't the
Nice.
entire pun, but like it worked. I'm dying because I'm reading the next one. It says she's shaved bare as the North Pole, and that's the best Christmas gift anyone is trying to give me. I don't know how that even gets slid in there, but that was just she
They just
shaved.
slip it right in.
She shaved as bare as the North Pole. Like, thank you so much for this fucking gold.
It is. And that's the thing about like this book is like, and a lot of Kayley's books to that point are very low drama. They're incredibly funny. They're very quirky.
Have you read any of her other books?
So she has 2 other books in the series so far.
Oh, the ones
This-
I've been going on.
Yeah, this series is a very holiday series. It includes this
very.
book, Very Bossy Christmas. This next one is A Very Friendly Valentine's Day.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And the third one is A Very Vegas St. Patrick's Day.
And that one involves the cousin.
And these are all part of the same universe.
Irish
They're all,
cousin.
it's part of this, yeah, the like,
And strippers, probably.
there's,
I would be disappointed if there wasn't strippers.
And a buffet. I feel like there's always a buffet
oh
in
man, I bet
Vegas.
you there's an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Ooh, do you think they get married by an Elvis impersonator?
That sounds amazing, actually.
I will read it and tell you.
Yeah, we'll tell you all about it.
Thanks. On St. Patrick's Day, right?
St. Patrick's Day. Yeah.
No, because Rachel says we need to read a different author. So now we have to find another one, which means we get to read more books.
You're welcome.
Yep.
So, you know, they end up setting up this kind of fake relationship thing because she wants the time off of, she doesn't want to work during Christmas. She wants to go hang out with her family or whatever. And he's like, but I lied to my mom and told her I was bringing a girlfriend home.
Well, he's trying to avoid his mom
He is.
because there's
But
a
he
whole thing
can't.
with his brother getting married
Oh,
and all that
gosh.
stuff. And his mom's like, so his mom is Irish and his dad is Italian.
Correct.
Is that how it goes? So it's like,
yes, that's
yes,
right.
because Nona,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's this whole like Catholic guilt thing, and the mom, like it's just,
It's intense.
it's hilarious.
So to that point, he was avoiding the entire family for like a solid year because his ex of like 10 years is going to marry his brother.
His older brother,
His
who he
older
was very
brother.
close to.
Correct. They were like best friends forever. Oh yeah, total drama island. So he basically like he's one of those people that's very black and white. Like he just either cuts you off or he cuts you off.
He's licking his wounds for sure.
Yeah, I mean he's kind of a very emotionally detached character, I would say, until this Maddie gal trots into his life.
Yeah, you can eat a bag of dicks, you old Grinch.
Thanks for that. So they kind of set up this fake relationship with him because he like got himself in some hot water. So he has to show up to Christmas after he lied to his mom about having a girlfriend. So he's got to show up with a girlfriend, and then she wants the time off. They, and I quote, create a discreet, temporary, simulated consensual romantic relationship during non-working hours because he's a lawyer. So he showed up to her house with this contract outside of work hours and schmoozed her landlady, of course.
Which is funny because like Maddie has this whole opinion of him until she realizes that he's not the hard ass that she thinks he is.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's like this is almost a grumpy sunshine. Close.
Yeah.
He's a total grump. And he comes off as a very cold, callous person. But underneath that all, he's like the sweetest boy.
I feel like you're describing the movie The Proposal, but in reverse.
Did I compare? I might have compared this to The Proposal at some point.
I feel like you did, and I again was like, I have never seen that. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, only there's not as high as stakes, and Betty White's not in it.
Oh, rip.
I'm assuming Sandra Bullock isn't either.
I mean, no, she's not.
But I heard Ryan Reynolds makes an appearance.
Fucking A. I'm gonna ride you like a one-horse open sleigh.
That was the one that I sent to the group chat that I was like, guys, this is the moment. This is it. Like, you know.
It says fucking A.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ride you like a one-horse open sleigh.
That's what it says.
Because he needs this woman. That's all he wants for Christmas.
He's like obsessed.
Oh my
And
god.
There's so many little pieces like breadcrumbs throughout this book that you realize that like he's had a crush on her for so long.
Well, yeah, because like they used to chat. They used to chat, and he would call the other lawyer instead of having his assistant do it because he wanted to talk to her. And it should be said that you do find out that he was in a relationship with the ex while he was chatting with Maddie.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about that. So that whole relationship that he was in for like 10 years with this Hannah lady, they were like high school sweethearts and stuff. And they went off to college together and they were together forever. It's been they kind of bring it up in the book a couple times where he realized that he should never have been in that relationship. And it was only like a relationship that worked in their hometown.
They used it as the acceptance point of like, it's okay that all of this happened to him because he didn't actually love her as much anyway as he thought anyway. So it's okay that she's marrying and all this stuff. Like it was like basically she was destined to be with his brother.
Yeah, and it's very funny because like she had a crush on his brother, or sorry, the brother had a crush on her for so long.
Yeah.
Like it's the second they were introduced to each other, they both knew that they were like, oh crap. Like, this is the person I want to be with.
Which is why it happened so fast.
Which is why it happened so fast. Because they were like, they ended up being together and then married or engaged within like 8 months or something.
Yeah. Poor Declan.
Poor Declan. He's a poor little sad boy.
So
and I mean,
did his brother meet her because they were dating?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Through one another.
Yep.
So it was just like, hey, this is my brother. Oh, cool.
Yeah, like he brought her home to meet the family. As because, you know,
right.
big Catholic family.
Right. Okay.
They have, he has 3 brothers and a sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he has the cousins.
And then all of his cousins.
And then the cousins.
The Irish cousins.
Yeah. And then the Boston cousins.
And the Boston cousins.
The Boston cousins.
They're wonderful.
Yep.
They're all, because they all get together for, so this is kind of 2 parts. There's Christmas Day, like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And then there's the wedding of the brother and the ex-girlfriend.
Yep.
Which happens on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve.
Okay.
So he has to be there for, like, they signed this relationship contract, so she's going to go to Christmas with him and then also go to the wedding.
And in turn, she gets Christmas off.
Right. So she has like that 2-week period.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
basically
whatever.
the week in between. Yeah.
But he would really appreciate it if she did actually come into work because he is still planning on working.
And he did plan on working, which is one of the notes too. I didn't write it down, but one of the things I remembered from the book was somebody mentioned later on that nobody worked late until she started there because he wanted to spend more time with her.
Yeah,
And so
he never started working late.
He never
yeah.
worked late. Yeah, and he never worked weekends or anything until she started there because he wanted to spend more time.
Because, you know,
Because he had a mad crush on her.
he loves her.
And there's
like, is it kind of weird or is it?
I think it's
Are we
maybe just
okay with it?
I think it's just his personality. He's like a weird personality type.
As in, like,
He's a lawyer.
he has no social skills. or
Yeah, his
chill
social
whatsoever.
skills are lacking in a big way.
Like when he gets up on stage and sings at a bar because she pissed him off. Or
So
something.
the first night,
Uh-oh.
they're staying together. They're in Ohio, in like small town Ohio,
She was supposed to get a hotel room outside of
at like
the
a Hilton or something, like
Yeah.
a nice place.
outside of the area that he grew up in or his parents live in, but she purposely books a hotel close to fuck with him.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there's so many passive aggressive little things in here. It's very
Bottoming
amusing.
from the top.
Yeah, basically. And she books this hotel really close. It's just a little hotel, close to his in his hometown, basically. And the first night they're there, he like kisses her in the elevator on their way up to the hotel room the first time, and then she like slaps him because she's like, "Wait a second, you're supposed to kiss me. What are you doing?" And then she like hits him.
And then
Why
and then-
was he going up to her hotel
Well, no,
room?
they were both going up to the rooms together. Like they're in separate rooms.
have separate
Oh,
rooms.
Yeah, but
he
they were
was
taking the elevator
staying
up.
there too.
Yeah, they're both staying in the same hotel.
Oh, I see.
Because he can't stay with his parents because that would be weird.
That would be awkward because this is before they kind of like make amends and everything. So he's still kind of like not hanging out with the family.
I just thought about the pants thing where she was wearing his mother's pants.
Oh my goodness! After dinner, and he even said, he's like, "Are you gonna wear those jeans?" And she's like, "Yeah." What's wrong with jeans? And he's like, "You're gonna wear something better than that."
I'm purposely wearing pants that are one size too big.
Yeah.
Because there's so much food.
They eat because I mean it's an Irish family and a friggin'
Italian.
Italian family. So there's like a bunch of Irish food and then there's a bunch of Italian food. There's like
It's mostly-
4 different types of meatballs or
Yeah.
something.
Nona.
Nona likes to cook.
Yeah. But anyway, I got way too ahead of myself. Because when he's singing in the hotel.
So when he's singing at the hotel, so they go upstairs and like after she slapped him and he goes in his room and locks his door and doesn't come out and doesn't answer his text messages and won't answer his phone call and she's knocking on the door and he won't come out. He's pouting because he's like, no, this is
He's
fine.
a mopey man mope.
He's super mopey man. And so she goes downstairs and has dinner with herself. There's the whatever. And then
Masturbating, as it were.
she's masturbating. And then as she's
that.
about to leave, she hears somebody singing in the bar next to the restaurant and goes and has a seat. And he's like belting out sad Christmas carols.
Oh
Well,
god.
because he was in there before having a drink, and he was like, "Yeah, the band's."
He bought
good,
everyone
but,
hot
like,
toddies.
Yeah, he's like, the band's good, but like, you know, I know. And then he's like, "You guys take a break," and he goes up on stage, and he's like,
He's still playing with the band. It's the singer. He gives the singer a break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gives the singer a break.
Oh, Declan.
Yeah, but apparently, because this is a romance novel of sorts, he can sing.
Obviously.
got a
Obviously,
good
he can
voice.
sing. He's got a good voice, and he's like lamenting about this girl who doesn't want him, and there she is getting
And
hit
then-
Wanting
on.
him.
Okay, so this is where I have a note written down. That's
Yeah.
very important.
I have a question,
Okay.
Miss Kayley Loring. Are you a Raylo?
I think she might be a Raylo.
Because like that little Star Wars slip in was not just Star Wars. That was Raylo.
That was some
And
deeper. There was some deeper meaning behind that
I
kind of
squealed.
joke. Yeah. So to set this up, there was so she is sitting at the bar, listening to him lament in his songs, and she talks. This guy comes over and starts hitting on her.
Sorry, question.
Yes,
Can
ma'am.
he see her?
Not
sitting
yet,
At the bar?
not yet.
Not
Okay.
yet.
Not yet. So we're setting this up.
So she can see, she knows what's going on, but he does not know she's there.
No, 'cause
Correct.
A, he's loaded, and B, he's on stage singing.
Wicked drunk.
Right.
Drunk on hot toddies, which is another whole thing.
I thought that was something people drink so that when they were sick.
They do. That's exactly what it's for.
So why was he serving hot toddies at the bar?
Because he's sad, Ashton.
Can I have a hot toddy? Would that make me feel better?
Probably.
Oh, no. No.
I don't think we have the ingredients.
There's a lot of liquor in it.
I mean, is that a bad?
It's like straight up rum. You don't just drink straight up rum.
I mean, I have caramel liqueur here.
Anyway.
I could drink.
So she's getting hit on at the bar, and
Tells the guy her name's Ray.
Tells the guy her name is Ray, and that her job is
Parts acquisition or something
parts
like that.
acquisition. And then he so
Is
so
that
then
a weird Jedi thing?
no,
Is
it's,
that a
it's
weird
The,
Jedi thing?
it's the beginning of the movie.
So yes.
No, because Ray doesn't realize that she has force powers, and she's a junker, so she finds stuff.
So Declan notices that this guy is over there hitting on her, and he comes over.
And recognizes what she's doing.
And so the guy's like, "Oh, Ray and I are just having a chat."
Yeah.
And
Is
he
his
recognizes
name like Obi-Wan or something.
No.
Declan? No, his name's Declan.
No, the guy that is hitting on
Oh,
her.
we don't
I
know
can't
his
remember
name. Probably Dan from Montana.
Remember Dan?
Yeah. Remember Dan? Bo didn't like Dan.
No, he.
And Declan doesn't like Dan either, so Dan's losing out here.
Sorry, Dan.
Sorry, Dan.
Do you know
Keep
who
on trucking.
Dan needs to get with?
Who's that?
Bonnie?
The
No.
old lady.
Greta!
Greta.
No, that's like the wolf lady, isn't
Oh.
it? No, the one from the one where they were the Fisher people and her
Opal.
sister.
Opal.
Opal, yeah. And Dan, he likes older ladies.
Yep, I could see it. So Declan marches up and he's like, to defend her honor and whatnot.
He basically calls himself Ben.
Yeah, and there's the whole like Raylo moment where it's like, don't do it, Ben. Take my hand. I don't even remember, but it doesn't matter because it was Raylo as
I'm calling
fuck.
it. I'm calling it. It was such a Raylo moment
It
where
was
it's like,
Raylo
and here's
as fuck.
And here's the thing too. I am not in the Raylo fandom, but I recognize and I'm like, Ashton would be, this is Raylo. It's got to be. It has to be. It's too deep. There's too many layers.
Yeah.
It was not
No
shallow
one's a
enough.
furry though.
Yeah, there's no furries in this.
Yeah.
And if you're curious as to what Raylo is, I feel like we discussed it in a previous episode.
That might have been cut out because Lord knows that went on ages.
Jack, do you remember what a Raylo is?
Kylo Ren Ray.
Nailed it.
Low.
Fuck! Did I fuck it up again?
No.
Ashton's just trolling you. Don't worry about it. So, they right after this happens and like they have their Star Wars fucking moment, they go upstairs and they get it on.
Oh, so he's
Oh,
allowed
yeah,
to kiss her
right.
now.
Yeah. Okay, here's the thing. It flip-flops so that she's like, they take the elevator upstairs together, or she follows him out. He's like, no, leave me alone. I'm going away.
I'm sad, mopey
I'm
man.
sad, mopey man, mope. You don't like me, no.
Mope.
And then she's like, well, that's not true at all, and makes out with him in the fucking elevator.
It's her turn.
Yeah, so she takes control of that situation real quick.
Better than the smexing though was when she walked in on him dancing naked to come and get your love the next day.
The next day, after they do it a bunch of times, they used to go back to separate rooms because she's like, I can't get connected to you. I can't like fall in love with you. We're going to sleep in separate rooms. We're not
Because
cuddling.
you're my boss.
Yeah. And they don't want to
And-
like make it known that this is what's going on or whatever.
And his whole thing is we are two people who are both hot as fuck.
super hot as fuck.
And that means that they should fuck. That's his whole standpoint before he admits
Before
that he's like
he just doesn't want to admit he has the feels real bad.
real bad.
Real
bad.
bad.
Real bad.
Like hasn't been with anyone else in the last year because he wants her real bad.
Oh.
So bad.
And
So-
what
so
is
bad.
she dating people and whatnot? Is she clueless that he
I feel like she
loves
had
her?
I feel like she had a couple crappy relationships
Yes.
that she wasn't really like keen on. Like she was dating below her
Her thing
standards.
is that she was always with people who didn't treat like she always dated losers was her
Yeah,
big thing, because that's where their family's like, we always date the people who are horrible, and this guy's like, got a good job and stuff. Like, man, yeah, he's got a nice butt too.
They're obsessed with his butt.
Nice boss butt.
He's a big old boss butt.
Boss butt. Macklin has a nice boss butt.
Macklin. I love it. So they go to Christmas dinner with the family
At his parents'
as his parents' house in
Yep.
Ohio.
And she meets all the brothers.
She meets all the brothers and all the parents and the grandmother.
And
And-
the cousins.
The cousins
there.
are not there. This is like family Christmas.
That's not to say that the cousins aren't family. It's just they're not invited to Christmas.
Yeah, they're at their own big Christmas with their Christian guilt in Boston. During his stay at Christmas, Maddie encourages him heavily
to
to
talk to
reconcile
his ex.
with his ex and brother.
Also,
because
she has to wear
because
his mom's
he's
pants.
like, what's that? Oh yeah.
Also, she has to wear his mom's pants.
And this is before their wedding.
Yeah, so that's before. This is like the week before. Like, so with Christmas, they're getting married on New Year's.
Right.
Yeah. So he gets together and reconciles with the brother, and because he and his brother were like best friends. Like of all the family, like he was the closest with him.
Yeah, and the next one is Eddie, and he's like the
Eddie's the baby.
the baby who's all like, I'm an actor and shit.
He's an actor, and so this is where Maddie's niece Piper loses her shit because Eddie is like he acts in like high school. Yeah, so he acts. Yeah, he's in a bunch of like young people TV shows.
Oh my god, fun.
The OC.
The what?
The OC. California.
Here
we go.
come.
It's a TV show that was on when we were in high school. About
I most certainly did not.
no, but
watch
she
that.
did. So I was looking at her when I said it.
Cool.
Yeah. He's well, because Declan tells Maddie that Eddie's ugly as hell. Like he's like he's like a dog. Like he's not attractive. And then she's like,
Selfie?
yeah.
And then sends it to Piper, who loses her shit.
Also, Piper has a thing where she likes to text Declan from Maddie's phone, which is equally delightful.
That comes out so well. Anyway, it turns the
turns out
tables
well.
later. I want to point out too, Eddie at one point is like, "Oh, your niece really likes me. Tell her I said hi." And then Piper's like, my niece is 13. And he's like, "All right, tell her I said hi in 5 years."
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's the hottie on the cover of the book?
That's Declan.
Are
I'm not
we
really sure why
sure?
he's wearing an infinity sweater or scarf.
I might have a little insight on that. It actually looks like a
cold.
sweater from the Aran Islands in Ireland. Because I've been there recently.
Oh, yeah, because he's Irish and he likes to go to Ireland, but it looks like an infinity scarf.
Yeah.
His eyes are like
Photoshopped, yes.
dead looking.
Photoshop. Rachel pointed out that this was the first book that we've read that has an actual like smutty romance cover on it.
Yeah, so if any of you went out and purchased this book, I'm sorry.
I'm not.
The actual cover of the book, it's like, this is, I think, the first book that has like a cover that you don't read on the bus, for example.
I mean, you could read it on the bus. It'd just be very obvious what you're reading.
Yeah, when I say that, I don't mean be ashamed of it. I just mean like a lot of people aren't comfortable reading books with very saucy covers in public with naked men on them.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I mean people. People who go out in public.
Oh,
Sometimes
I
not
guess I
comfortable
don't
with
go out in public often.
Yeah, fair.
Or I
neither.
have no shame. One of the two.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's that bad.
You don't need to choose.
I feel like I have no shame.
I just feel like it screams, this is a really sexy book with sexy things happening, and I'm reading sexy scenes right now.
Well, my son asked me if all the books that I read are just about boys. So
Based on that cover, yeah.
yeah, they are, and the things that boys do.
He's a very smart kid.
He's a really smart kid.
Sometimes.
He has his moments.
Anyway, so Christmas dinner and
so Christmas dinner, the pants.
the pants. And then that's a whole thing too at the end of it not at the end of it, when they leave and go back to the thing, they're like, he's like, talking about how much he's gonna rail her, and he's just like, he's gonna fuck her so bad
After Christmas dinner, and then they passed out on the fucking floor
Yeah,
because they can't.
his cock is big and lit up as a Rockefeller Center Christmas tree.
Oh my god, that's huge.
I know,
Nice,
and
nice.
he is, yeah.
And very bright.
Good pun drop.
So yeah, and it becomes this whole like cute thing where he finds her sexy even in his mother's like velour
They're like
pants.
velour pants, yeah.
And this was like the turning point in their like, this is just sex part of like, because it always gets there when they're like, it's just sex, and then they're like, well, we might have the feels, because they sleep together but they don't sleep together. They just
So
like,
in this particular so the night after, or the Christmas night, basically they fall asleep in the same bed together because they were like watching a movie or whatever.
yeah, they're being cute.
Yeah, but
As fuck.
then they rolls over in the middle of the night before they have to get in the plane and rails her.
Yeah,
Or vice versa, I should say. She wakes him up, I think.
Because this is, I thought we said no Christmas presents when she rails him at 5:30 a.m.
That's the one.
So there's that. I've
Nailed
got a
it.
lot of check marks here. I'm
But-
doing good.
I know. I'm sorry.
But
I'm
that
trying to
was
focus.
The day after Christmas.
It was Christmas.
No,
No,
it was
it was.
Eve. So that was Christmas.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
At 5:30 in the morning. So that was Christmas.
So they go back to New York.
And he goes to work.
He goes to work, and she goes to her family's place
Yes.
on Boxing Day.
Yeah. No, Christmas Day.
Oh
Wasn't it?
yeah, touche. I think it is Christmas Day.
I think it's Christmas because he spends the day by himself, and then
And then
Piper gets involved.
Piper gets a hold of Maddie's phone and
Yeah.
starts texting the boss
I
because
want
she's
you to
on.
come to my family's Christmas. Blah
Yeah,
blah blah.
Exactly, and like
and
to
then
the,
he shows up and she doesn't realize that what happened. She's like, Piper, why did you do this? And she's like, well, I just really think that you guys should be together because you're so cute.
It's not that complicated at all. She realizes what Piper's done. She looks out the window, and he's just standing there.
he calls her, and there's an ambulance going by in the background, but she also hears that ambulance going by in real life, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Wait, where are you?"
And then she looks outside, and he's right there.
Because this is also after she's talking to her sister about it, and her sister's like, "Hey, I railed my husband one time on the ferry in Staten Island."
Well, not only that, but they were like,
goals.
Goals.
Yeah.
That's literally what it turns
yeah,
into. Is
it
hashtag
yeah,
goals.
no, legit goals. And it's funny too because Maddie's like, he'd never take the Staten Island ferry. He'd never do that. No. And he did.
Oh, he took that ferry.
Oh, he took that ferry hard.
Yeah.
And
He
her on
take
the
that ferry again. Yeah.
Yeah, in the cold.
Upstairs when there's no
Upstairs.
one
Well,
there. On the deck. Which, if you've been on the deck of a ferry, that's just cold on a good day.
I mean, it's funny because I thought the logistics of that, like on the Dartmouth ferry, I'm like,
You can't get away with it because they're in the middle of the Dartmouth ferry. That's where the pilot dude hangs out. He
That's
can
what
see
I was
everything.
thinking because when I was imagining the thing, like this ferry where they're boning, that's what I was thinking. So I was like, I don't, because that was my, but their ferries.
That's your
are
frame of
prob-
reference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but their ferries are probably bigger.
Well, yeah, because I'm pretty sure they take cars. The
Oh,
Staten Island
yeah,
ferry.
that's
so picture
true.
more like the Caribou Ferry to PEI.
Now I'm thinking about all the places you could rail in the fucking Confederation.
Is that the one that caught on fire?
No, that's the Holiday Island.
Oh. All right.
Good job, Northumberland Ferries.
Call it
Shout
hour.
out.
Let's call it hour again.
Well, it's funny because he shows up and then like everybody's losing their shit over it. And the aunt with the accent. And
Oh my goodness.
yeah. And
Her accent is so wonderful. It comes through so clear in this book.
and I listened to the audiobook, so it was
Ah.
even better. And the funny thing is, so Maddie bought Declan's parents gifts at a gift shop at the hotel. So
they're like shot glasses, Ohio shot glasses
Yeah.
and shit.
So Declan buys the mom or the aunt or something like that gift, and she's like, "Oh, thanks." You know, I
Nutcracker.
yeah.
Is she from Minnesota?
No, I can't not go with accents.
Oh,
Just don't judge me.
that was a really good Minnesotan accent, though.
Minnesota salads that aren't really salads. TikTok call out.
Wow.
Oh man, it's that Minnesota mom.
Yeah, she get the Nutcracker, and the aunt is like,
She like clears this space for it
Yeah,
and shit on the.
it's a whole thing.
It's so lovely.
it's cute.
and she's so pleased, and everyone's like, "This is a joke," and she's like, "I'm so happy right now."
Yeah,
she's
so
so
happy.
she's so
Aw.
wonderful.
Yeah, and then they go back to his place and they bone.
The aunt?
Yeah,
Oh my
this
goodness.
is a threesome.
No, they go back to her place.
Is it her place?
Yeah, because this has to. He always like runs into
Yes.
the landlady.
Well, yeah, and then they end up at the bar shortly after, and they run into the.
That's like the next day, I think.
Yeah, because he stays over, doesn't he?
Yeah.
No. Yes. And he bought the landlady the coat.
He bought her flowers. He bought her a coat, a nice warm coat, because she would never spend money on something like that.
Yeah.
She's like an old Russian lady.
Yeah. Polish. I think she's Polish.
She's Polish,
Or
yeah.
Ukrainian or something. I'm pretty sure. It stated that she was Ukrainian.
She's wonderful,
Delightful.
and she's always trying to feed people, which I love.
Yeah. And like going on about how Declan's really hot.
Yeah, and how she needs to settle down with him, obviously, because
Yeah.
old ladies from the Ukraine know what's up.
They really do.
They really do.
Yeah.
Wisest people you've ever going to meet.
Yeah.
And so they go to a bar the next day, and they end up meeting. They run into the
Carol. No.
secretary,
Yeah.
Oh.
Cindy, the
from
front
their
desk
law
lady.
firm.
Yeah, she's like the front desk gal, and so, but she's super chill about it.
She already
She
Probably.
does. She's
Actually, yeah, it's the whole thing.
she's super chill about it because she's like, yeah, people do this all the time. Don't worry about it. Like
Does
don't
she-
worry about it. It's safe with me.
Yeah,
Lots of
she
people at
gets-
the office are boning.
Yeah.
She gets all the gossip as like
Well,
the
and
front
And so
desk.
here's the thing about Cindy too. For their Secret Santa at work, somebody gifted Cindy a karaoke machine. And the limit
Sorry, Cindy is
the front desk
secretary?
lady.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the limit was supposed to be $20 on a gift, and somebody gifted her a karaoke machine.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me.
I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
That someone's Declan.
I am not participating in that, and I'm gonna do a shot.
We were karaokeing. That's what was happening right there. And showing our age. So Declan was the one that got her that. And not that she needs to, but Maddie mentions that to Cindy. So Cindy's like double, like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to say anything. It's fine.
Well, Maddie finds out because she finds
a receipt on his desk
Yeah, that.
Why did he get her the karaoke machine?
because he's the sweetest man ever.
Because
And
he
she
knows that she
loves-
loves it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she loves karaoke. Like, it's a big thing for her.
And this is like a common knowledge too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And he's the sweetest boy.
And he's a decent human being.
He's such a sweetie pie. But he's like cold as it. And
And-
he obviously didn't mention that he did this.
But are they like friends?
No.
No.
Okay.
He's just a decent guy.
Well, that and he.
But is he like a jerk to her?
No.
He's not like, I'm a lawyer and you're a secretary or anything. Like,
No, he's
just-
not. He's not really a jerk to anyone per se. He's just like kind of cold and put off.
He's standoffish.
He's very standoffish.
Yeah, like the beginning of the book is like him in his car and somebody like cutting him off, and like it's just this. He's like,
He was trying to be nice, and then he ended up not being nice, and it was a whole thing.
yeah, it's like he's very jaded, I guess, after like the whole thing with his ex-girlfriend marrying his brother.
No, I just think that's who he is in general. He's a lawyer. He comes off as very cold.
yeah, maybe. He's
So
as
after
cold as ice.
so after all that, they end up in like a tiff, a little bit of a
Who does?
Maddie and Declan.
Declan.
They end up in a bit of a tiff, and then she's like, "Can't do this anymore. I'm checking out."
Oh yeah, and she's not gonna go to the wedding,
She's not going to go to the wedding.
and he gets sad, mopey sad, mope, mope, mope.
He's super mopey sad.
Yeah.
So he ends up going to, oh my goodness. So they go, he
bachelor
goes on the
party.
bachelor party
Oh no.
and gets hammered. And he's on his phone the whole freaking time, like trying to message Maddie and leaving her messages and stuff. And she's like not answering her phone.
Girl
She's away
does
from her phone.
not want the tea. Leave her alone.
So one of his cousins grabs his phone and is like, hey, this is Declan's cousin. He's turning his phone off now. He's not going to talk to you for the rest of the night. We're done here. Because he was just like,
Bye.
he was like being, mopey and distracted with his phone.
That's
and they're
what
like,
Rachel would do.
yeah, 100%. I'd be like, stop being mopey and distracted. We're going to go get hammered. And they do.
And they do.
And they wake up the next morning, like in the hotel room or whatever. And
Wearing each other's clothes.
yeah. And because, I mean, part of it is they go back to, so Declan and Maddie go back to work. And Maddie's like, I can't do this. I can't be in the same room with you and pretend that we don't have feelings for each other. And he's like, well, why not? This is fine. And she's like, this is not fine. And so I can't do this anymore. And so he's like, no, this is okay. She's like, it's not. You love me and like you need to say so. And he's like, no, that's bullshit. I'm not gonna do that. And so obviously, yeah, so that's the thing of like he won't admit to his feelings to her. And she is like, she can't work with him anymore, blah, blah, blah. So that's
And
kind
she
of the
said
tip
she
they
can't
have.
do it, but she meant she can't work with him. She didn't mean she can't do the relationship, but he takes it as I can't do this and doesn't fight for her. So she's just basically like, but no, and then runs away.
So
But no.
I don't know why I sound like a lamb.
And then so she goes to her sister, obviously, and her sister talks her out of all this stuff, and she comes to the conclusion that like, oh, I'm just gonna be with this dude, and that's what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna quit my job and go get a job elsewhere, so we don't have to work together. And so she ends up showing up at the rehearsal dinner, I believe,
yeah,
because or is it at the wedding?
no, it's a rehearsal dinner.
Because he gets up and he's giving a speech about love and relationships.
Yeah,
Oh, but it's like not about the bride and groom. It's really about him.
Yes. At the end, it turns into more about him. It's actually really sweet. I'm not gonna lie. I hate that shit usually, but it's really
yeah,
kinda nice.
it was
Because
endearing.
he's such a because he's such like a standoffish guy. For him to like wrap his feelings up in kind of analogies, it was kind of nice and endearing.
Well, it was basically like when he like started singing his heart out to the fucking
Yeah,
bar. Like it seems to be
exactly.
like his thing. He's like a messy,
He's so messy.
like I don't even say drunk because he wasn't even drunk there. He was super hungover.
Yeah.
Like a messy grand gesture type guy.
He's just messy.
He's a mess. He doesn't understand his feelings.
Messy emotions.
Yeah, he's a messy emotional guy.
I feel like that's kind of rude though. Like I get that it's sweet and all, but this is your brother's wedding.
So
like,
here's the only sticking point I have in this entire book. One of my things is that like if you ever propose to somebody at someone else's wedding,
Right?
you are dead to me.
Oh, you're a
Right?
dick.
So he
or
does
announce
that.
a pregnancy
Yeah,
or blah blah
anything.
blah 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 blah.
So-
And that is one of the things that's on the list of the blah blah blahs.
So this happens in this book now.
Wait, he proposed?
100%.
Motherfucker, Declan.
So what happens?
No chill. No chill,
Now,
Declan.
what I will say, the only saving grace here is that his ex is marrying his brother.
Yeah, I think he gets a pass.
I think he gets a pass. I'll give him
No.
a pass.
No.
No, I will.
I
No.
give him a pass.
He doesn't get a fucking pass.
I'm giving him a pass. Okay, so
Giving him a pass is saying you don't need to come to the wedding. Like, I get that this is weird and hard for you, that I stole your fucking woman, so I
That you
get
ignored.
that you don't want to be at this wedding. You don't get a pass for proposing.
here's the thing too. I will also say like they're a big like Italian family, and like for them to include the family on all of those things in such like an intimate kind of way is probably okay for them. Like I'm sure the family in this instance was like, yeah, that's fine. Like there was nothing.
But did he ask first? Did he give his brother and the new wife?
Do you know what
heads
he
up?
did? He actually went to his Nona, who hates everybody but likes Maddie.
And she makes gnocchi. Yeah, okay.
And
I want a
Gnocchi?
nana so bad.
Oh, okay. Have you ever had gnocchi? Oh,
No.
it's delicious. It's so good.
And only Nonas make gnocchi?
I mean, that's primarily who makes gnocchi.
In my head, I'm hearing gnocchi just so we're all clear.
Oh, no, it's gnocchi. It's with a G.
Nogi.
Gnocchi?
Okay, cool.
Good chat.
I have a question for our listeners, for anybody who's hanging in there and wants to email Rachel
Hi, that's me.
or any of us. I mean, they just emails just go to Rachel. What are your thoughts if you propose at your brother's wedding, even though he's marrying your ex-girlfriend of like a long ass time?
Yeah, like 10 years.
Who is the asshole?
Yeah, fair.
Am I the asshole? I'm not the asshole. I didn't do this.
I'd make a
but, like,
Twitter poll, but Twitter's, I mean, it's hard to say where it is now. It's Christmas.
Who's the asshole?
That's what I'm asking.
The proposer or who? What's the other option?
Am I the asshole? Is the proposer the asshole for proposing at the wedding of his brother, even though he was like, look, I'm cool, but I'm not super cool because you're marrying my ex?
So he said that? He like made it clear that he was not super cool.
No, he said, I think he was like, he was cool with it, but it's still weird for him. Like, he was like, I'm okay with it, but I'm just, like, I still, like, am processing
So I'm gonna
things.
fucking ruin your wedding with my own proposal.
Oh, he doesn't ruin
You're
it,
the
though.
asshole / everyone sucks here.
I wasn't asking you. I was asking the people listening.
Well, I may be listening. Probably not, because Rachel can never get me to listen.
I try so hard.
Rachel can't get us too much of anything I don't want
I
to do.
try so hard every time.
Rachel, professional cat wrangler.
That's me. What's up? Meow.
We just need treats.
I gave you treats. What's your cold stream over there? Cold stream.
Fuck me running on Santa's sled.
I already said that one.
Oh, fuck off.
Oh, she should be punished for reusing one.
I don't have hers checked off.
Have you been a bad girl?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, fair.
It's beginning to look a lot like my Instagram feed in here.
So, Jack, we're gonna get you to read. Now, here's the thing. Okay.
Oh, I forgot.
No, hold on, Jacqueline.
Again.
Because it's your birthday.
Okay, before we get Jacqueline to read, though, can we just talk about the fact that Declan and Maddie do actually get married and they dance to Come and Get Your Love at the end at their fucking wedding? Because that was perfect.
Yes, they do.
That was like the
Was
most.
that the karaoke song?
No, it's the song that she caught him dancing naked to in his fucking hotel room.
She'd been
Oh,
trying to
right,
call
right.
him in the morning. He wasn't answering phone because he was dancing and
Naked
singing
in his
naked.
room.
And so she got one of the front desk people to come open the door because her name was on the booking. And so she had access to that.
Oh.
And he was dancing naked to this song
Yep.
when the front desk person and Maddie rolled up to his hotel room.
Damn, Declan. I don't know what that song is, but
It's the
Come and get your love.
in the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's Star-Lord. The song that Star-Lord's down, down, now, 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 now. Hey,
hey.
what's yeah, that one.
yeah, I've never seen that movie.
Oh fuck!
It's a great movie.
Oh,
Even I've seen that one.
here comes Santa Claus. I think I already said that one.
In this book, we mentioned #Macklin,
Macklin.
which is the ship name for Declan and Maddie.
Yeah.
Per
Piper.
Piper, her 13-year-old niece, writing fanfic about them.
What?
So
Yeah, we purposely did not bring this up because it's so fucking good.
Piper wrote fan fiction about them?
Yeah.
so
Oh
Jack,
my god.
as a Merry Christmas and a Happy Birthday to you,
Here's a treat.
we're gonna get you to read the very first fanfic chapter that Piper wrote.
Is there more than one?
Yeah.
Oh my
there's two.
god, she's 13.
This is gonna be great.
I'm terrified.
It's a whole thing too because her mom finds her journals and she's like, "Mom, I know you're reading my journals."
Oh my god, okay.
Now I also want you to read the chapter header as a good example for like how the chapter headers are going.
Okay, it's chapter 8, Piper. Maddie and Declan sitting in a Christmas tree. Kissing. That's what they were doing with their eyes and their words. Okay, I'm not going to sing all of that. But anyways, they would kiss with their lips eventually. It was fate. Macklin was just a couple waiting to happen. A love story waiting to be written. Why did it have to wait, one might wonder? Why could Maddie not see the way Declan gazed at her longingly with his beautiful amber eyes? Why could she not see the chemistry between them? It was hot enough to melt the North Pole. So was Declan's butt. His perfect butt. It was the most perfect man butt Maddie had ever seen, even though she refused to admit it to herself or anyone else. He had the holy grail of butts. But back to Maddie. What was holding her back? It wasn't a lack of confidence. Oh no, that lady had confidence to spare. It wasn't that she was blind. Even she could see how gorgeous Declan was. Maybe it was just that she was so busy looking over her shoulder at all the crappy boyfriends from her past that she couldn't see the potentially great boyfriend that was standing right in front of her desk all along. Or for just 2 months or whatever. A New York minute was like a second, but 2 months was basically forever in the world of New York dating. It's weird. That was why Christmas was the perfect time for Declan to take Maddie matters into his own hands, to take Maddie into his own hands, under the mistletoe. It was their company's holiday party, a day unlike any other day. It was a day of celebration, of the baby Jesus, but also of love. And Jacqueline. And that's what it was for Maddie and Declan. It was love. Maddie just didn't know it yet. As she was gathering up her things to go home, she also did not know it yet, but she was about to get the greatest Christmas present anyone would ever give her. Except for the macaroni portrait of her face that her awesome niece had given her several years ago. I think she means herself. Cute. She said goodnight and happy holidays to the super nice receptionist, but she didn't bother saying goodbye to Declan because she knew he would just text her as soon as she was gone. He always texted her. That's what boys do when they like a girl. Everyone knows that. But for some reason, Maddie didn't understand that when her boss texted her to ask her to do things for him. What he was actually doing was asking her to be his girlfriend, showing her that she was always on his mind. She was leaving the party early because she was going to go shopping for some amazing presents for her favorite niece. She was going to get her at least 3 of the items listed on the Google document that her niece had shared with her and the rest of their family. So it was just her standing there in the lobby by the elevators. She had been so busy thinking about the presents she would be buying her niece that she didn't even notice the mistletoe that was hanging right above her. "Where do you think you're going?" Declan said from right behind her. She rolled her eyes and turned to face him. She was about to say something sassy to him, as usual, but she didn't get the chance because Declan's mouth was on her mouth. He kissed her and kissed her until they both had to catch their breaths. That was when he said, "Merry Christmas, Maddie. I love you." "You do?" she asked. Her eyes were filling with tears, but she could finally see him clearly. She could finally see herself clearly. "Well, now that you mention it, I love you too." And then they kissed again, passionately. Their lips were locking while everyone else was rocking around the Christmas tree. It was a good thing no one else at the party was paying attention to them, because they were really going at it. Declan's... I can't believe a 13-year-old girl wrote this. Declan's hands were all up in her luxurious brown hair, and Maddie's hands were clinging to his incredible butt. There just happened to be paparazzi hiding behind a big plant, so pictures of their PDA ended up all over the internet, and that was fine with them, because neither of them wanted to hide their love from the world, or more importantly, from each other anymore. The elevator dinged and the doors opened, just as their hearts were opening to each other. They got inside the empty elevator together without even pausing their kiss. When the elevator doors closed, Declan hit the stop button so the doors would stay closed. An alarm went off, but they couldn't even hear it over the sound of their beating hearts. They kissed even harder and more, like with tongues and hands and legs and stuff. They were suspended midair, and New York time was finally standing still. And that's how it happened. First came love, then came marriage. Maddie's niece was the most beautiful bridesmaid the world had ever known, and that was how she met her future husband, Shawn Mendes, who performed at their wedding. And then... eventually would come a baby in a baby carriage, but not for a long time, because there were already enough babies in the family for now. But when they do have a baby, they will give it the middle name Piper and make Piper the godmother, because they realize just how important she is in their lives, now and forevermore. Oh my God. I just want to point out that the next chapter is called Cocky Around the Christmas Tree, and I love it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The fucking titles of these chapters are beautiful.
Oh yeah, this
So
book
good.
is like I can't express how much I enjoyed reading it. It was so fun and entertaining.
Yes.
Yeah.
Delightful.
And to that point,
How are we rating it?
how
Rachel?
how are we, Jack? I would like you to choose how we're going to rate this book, given the lovely wholesome chapter we just made you read.
Oh my goodness.
Boss butts, perhaps?
I mean, there's only one really good boss butt.
I think we should rate it out of boss butt squeezes.
How many times you'd squeeze that boss butt?
So what's the maximum squeeze amount?
Maximum number of squeezes is
I love how she looks through the chapters, so she's going to find a number in the chapters.
yeah, it's because it's chapter 8.
Oh!
So 8.
Nailed it. Good
8
call.
butt squeezes.
I'm giving this 7 butt squeezes out of 8.
How?
I really enjoyed this book.
Listen, I'm going to go so far as to say 7 butt squeezes and a reach around.
Ooh,
Straight through.
good call.
Little nut tickle in there.
Whoa!
Nailed
Because,
it.
like, who wouldn't want to tickle Declan's nuts?
Yeah, I would. Jack, what do you think?
Oh my goodness. Piper, 13 years old, writing that spicy fanfic.
Can confirm was that 13-year-old. Not shipping my aunt and her sexy boss, but, like, lots of other things that a 13-year-old probably shouldn't write about.
That was, I think, one of my favorite parts of this book was the fanfic that
Yeah, hands down.
it was just so good. So
Hands
good.
down.
Well, that's like the funniest thing in any of these books, I swear.
Well, when I read
her
it,
niece like writing about them.
when I read it for the first time, that's when I went to the group chat and I was like, "There's a thing that happens, and I don't want to tell you what happens. I just need to know your reaction to it."
And the second,
And that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it was.
Oh my god, amazing.
and
Yeah.
as soon as I read it, I'm just like, oh my god, yes.
Because to be fair, normally when I do that, it's because something is so ludicrously smutty or ridiculous that
Right.
like I need your reaction. This was just like the
Wholesome?
delight.
Almost in like a really
This is the most.
unwholesome
This is the
way.
most wholesome that it's gonna get.
Yeah.
okay? Yeah.
I think I'm gonna give it 8 of them
Nice.
Declan butt squeezes.
Nice.
Especially because of this picture on the cover.
It's really. It's
I love
pretty
how
spe-
Jacqueline's like really getting into it now. The last few that we've done, she's like, yeah, like a quarter. I mean, I guess the last one there was a pregnant dog in it, so like in her
I mean,
rating choice.
I'm really happy. Like all of these people, as far as I know, are humans.
Yes, all very normal human people.
And,
Nothing magical or fantastical going
Yeah,
on.
I didn't even have to read about his giant dick or anything.
We did.
We did, but we gave you the present that you deserve, I think, which is a night off of reading about huge throbbing
I
dicks.
want you to
Aw.
remember this moment in a couple like sessions time when you have to read about the penguins. I just
Man, the penguins are coming down.
Oh,
the penguins.
penguins.
So, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me in this very special holiday episode.
Festive.
AF. And you know, happy holidays to all of our listeners.
Peace on everything. Goodwill to my vagina.
Nailed it. Thanks for that, Ash.
Are
And
there any puns left?
Yeah, there's a couple.
I want one. Come on.
I'm having a ring-a-ling-a-ding-ding-dong blast of a limo ride, and I'm not going to let him ruin it because he's being a boring, naughty-less sack of coal.
I feel like I want to change my answer about the butts because my dad or the Virgin Mary don't want to hear my answer.
That one's a good one too.
Nailed it. Well, on that note, thanks for listening to the Queen of Spice podcast. Happy holidays.
Happy
New
holidays.
Year's. Happy whatever you celebrate, and Yule, etc.
Thanks for
Kwanzaa.
joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to the Queens of Spice podcast. You'll find us on Instagram and Twitter at Queens of Spice. Or if you want to send us an email, you can reach us at queensofspice@gmail.com.